There's about to be a fight that our UFC-loving president will want to basically step into the ring and get into. James Comey is sitting at the center of Donald Trump's accountability push, which, of course, Trump fired him back in 2017, facing the Russia probe and a retaliatory foil for many of the rallies out there that went from beyond. He has 2 count indictments facing false statements to Congress and obstruction, which seemed like a very narrow path to get to Comey, but it was the way to get there. This gives Trump a headline target and a story his base already knows. Comey was pushing Russia, 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 bad, unfair things to Donald Trump. He got fired for being bad at his job, and now, for some reason, it took forever to make it happen, but he's going to be looking at the face of some sort of punishment and may go to jail. Justice Department is now led by Attorney General Pam Bondi, and the changes to the thought process, bringing charges to Comey stemming from the 2020 testimony, not from anything he actually did, but from testimony from Congress, alleging that the media leaked denials of the time were a bit much more serious than we played them out to be. Comey says he's innocent and wants a trial. He says this in an Instagram note, and this is the picture you're seeing here from his Instagram, his Instagram video the other day, saying that he has no fear. He thinks he can take this thing on. Now, politically, Comey, let's say he concentrates years of grievances into one single dependent that's going to happen here. This is a whole lot of Trump hatred going after one guy. But indicting him signals follow through on promises to pursue perceived abuses around the Russia inquiry. Abuses around everything in particular, but Russia particularly, and Comey is a big part of that one, a big target, if you will, and Trump thinks he has the right person to take down, or at least get started with. It also rallies allies who see a double standard in past probes. Trump's publicity about this, cheering this on, is proof that the bad actors are finally being held accountable. Meanwhile, many folks say that Trump allies are actually the bad actors and not being held accountable at all. A message that travels well on TV for the Trump folks, but not so great for the folks who are looking to oppose a new world order that is MAGA to continue. But there's a problem with James Comey. James Comey, not a great guy. Nobody likes him for good reason. The case is narrow and contested, and the prosecutors say that the skepticism before leadership changes that will happen to make this thing work out. One senior prosecutor is saying that these things happen. Some folks are resigning after the indictment. Some people are trying to get out of the way of what's happening because of the blowback from this one. The problem is defense will argue selective or retaliatory prosecution and that alleged misstatements from 2020 don't justify criminal charges now. Advisors betting on the broader retribution agenda on this single case risk the backlash of a judge narrowing the counts down and a jury that will acquit him going forward, which is why he's one reason why he's the wrong vessel, because the target may not work. But the main reason why he's the wrong vessel is if this is the guy that we have standing up to Donald Trump, you might want someone that's a bit more lovable, a bit more of a leader that you want to get behind, not just the guy. And it may be the one guy that can actually stand up against Trump. We'll see what happens because he doesn't have a choice. But the indictment lands amid a wider push against Trump critics, parallels what he's doing to target Letitia James, Adam Schiff, and weaponizing the narrative of weaponizing. Trump says that the DOJ was weaponized against him, and so now essentially he is doing it to other people. I mean, it's there. The double standard is there. It's pretty much wide open. The issue is whether it's now fair for Trump to do it because he thought he was being treated unfairly, or whether it was fair and he's being basically a baby and unfair about it right now as retaliation. Comey is vowing to fight this, saying in a quote, "I'm innocent. Let's have a trial." But positions are still a little sketchy. He says he made decisions. Changing man changes, and just the timing of things going on and right now are making this what we are focusing on. Other stories which are more important are happening. Other stories which are more interesting are happening. Multiple stories which may actually have more of a legal and a domestic actual outcome for us in the future are happening, but this one is happening as well, and we can't get away from it. And a lot of it is because Comey was a target. Comey is a lot of the blame that was being put on him for the loss of Hillary Clinton in 2016, and a lot of the blame are being put on him on the other side for Trump's style for essentially trying to push a little Russia propaganda onto him, being Trump, and not working. Pretrial motions are going to test the materiality of the statements, basically what exactly did he said and what are we actually, fighting about, and the intent, what they said in his testimony. Discovery could surface internal DOJ debates about how to run the case, whether it's going to undercut it or not. And politically speaking, it's a DOJ decides thing, but it does seem like Donald Trump is pushing for the DOJ to decide something that they probably have other things to deal with that are more important or even interesting than James Comey. There's a high-profile target crystallizes the accountability message that Donald Trump has been spouting, and essentially saying that he's going after folks who went after him. It's retribution. He's going after folks who went after him. The bad part is it's retribution. And the cases has a very narrow scope, just enough to get things to court, get things piled up, but nothing that's really a great vehicle to shine the light on things. And of course, if you're a fan of Comey, you're one of the rare fans of Comey because he doesn't have many fans. And that's part of his problem. But he thinks he has a case. He's a very good lawyer. He will see what happens when this thing gets somewhere, because there's no way that this is going to be dropped unless a judge says it just does not work constitutional-wise or functional-wise, which is a possibility. But Comey's going to probably waive most of those things. He wants to go to court and take his chances. He thinks he's the man to take Donald Trump down, at least in this peg here. As I said, wrong guy, wrong vessel. Not the one I want representing, the anti-Trump stuff, but this is what that side has. They have to live with it and hope it works. Your thoughts on Trump, Comey, and all the retribution that is about to come down? Give it to me in the comments.